Hey, what's up, guys? Just wanted to do a video. I know that we passed 10,000 subscribers, so thank you for that. And just wanted to take the time out because I know when I started this channel, I number one, I don't even know how to start this video because I kind of want to get into how I got into tarot, and a little bit of my story. I'm not going to get into detail because everyone has their own journey and struggles and everything. But it's one of those things where I just kind of realized recently, when I started Magician Tarot, the channel, I was doing a lot of readings, just kind of face to face with friends and connecting with their friends and doing phone type of readings. And when I started opening or started this channel here on YouTube, I didn't really expect that many subscribers, to be honest with you. It was just kind of like one of those things where I just thought I'll get a 50 to 100 and, maybe I'll help a few that, can resonate and everything like that. So it blew up. I mean, it's really at a bigger scale that I thought, and it hasn't really been a year yet. So we're kind of coming close to a year. So appreciate that. I really appreciate the support and all the kind comments and messages that I'm getting. Kind of want to start off there, but the I'll tell you a little story of how I got into tarot. That would kind of maybe introduction here a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I got into tarot a while back, and it just kind of came up on my feed on YouTube. I was always into like astrology and listening to people that had channels. Like Sarah Verba, I believe her name is. So I kind of listened to her quite a bit. It was really engaging. She did have tarot, but it was more about astrology and kind of where things were going. So I was very interested in that, right? So I kind of tuned into that in the afternoons after work and just kind of it gave me a better sense of what's coming up. And over time, though, I started to see more feed of tarot videos in the YouTube, and I started clicking into these, right? And so as I'm listening more into these videos, I start realizing like, wow, these videos really resonate with what I'm doing and who am I talking to and all sorts of stuff, right? So I kind of, you get into this, you get sucked in because you're kind of wondering what's going on, and you start seeing real life things that start happening to where it is exactly what the reader said. So I just, I didn't tell anybody. I was very quiet because, like, if I told friends, coworkers, or anyone that I was like watching tarot, that would be, probably a big alarm for a lot of people. Like, what is this, right? A lot of people don't know it. So for those that have been in the community for a very long time, you surrounded yourself with people that do know tarot and understand it. But there's a lot of people that are around, people that don't care for it, don't believe in it. They feel like it's a bad thing. So it's difficult when you're in that position because you do get good messages from tarot readers, and some are inspiring. Some do talk about relationships that you're going through. So I really got sucked in when, I was going through something here with someone, and it was just to the T with the sign that you're dealing with, um, all sorts of stuff. And I'm looking at this just like with my eyes open, and my jaws dropped. I'm just kind of like, what the F is going on here? Like this is just, there's no way, that this person can figure out what's going on. And so I am trying to get the answers, right? I'm getting the answers, and I'm going to simplify the story a little bit because I know, not everyone has that much time to listen. So it's like more of a storytelling thing going on here. But so, I'm listening to this, and, a lot of the responses, and you'll see where I'm getting with this in this conversation, but a lot of the readings were, this person is coming back, this person cares for you, this person is going to communicate with you, right? You get all those words and you're kind of sucked in waiting. That's where I screwed up. I ended up waiting for this to happen. And I'm not talking about weeks and months. I'm talking about a longer time frame, okay? And you kind of sit there and you're wondering what's going on because, the reader, everything's resonating, everything's matched up to the sign, to everything, right? And you're like, the only thing missing here is communication. So you're just kind of sitting there waiting for this. But, in my readings, I've noticed a lot of the energy shift is to kind of help people move away from the past and so you can move into the future. And that's kind of what I started doing when things started opening up, things started getting clear for me, is when I started letting go of the past and moving forward. Except that letting go part was a very difficult thing, especially when you're around and hearing all the time that, this person is coming back. And then it's just coming to the truth that, yeah, it might happen in the future, but right now that's not your concern. You know what I mean? This is not, you waiting for this person to come back to you is not going to help you in your life, because this person is not coming with $1 million, number one. And this person is not coming in to save you. Okay, so if you're looking for someone to come save you, this person is not coming to save you. And there's nobody there that's for you to help you but yourself. So, coming into that realization, and, for me, I'm like the black sheep. So here I am in a world where I have to figure a lot of stuff by myself. The incident I had to deal with, left me pretty much homeless. I was living in an office. Luckily, the place I was working for gave me a room to sleep in. And my first holidays, Thanksgiving, my birthday is December 1st, and then Christmas right after that. I spent those holidays in an office space with a portable heater and my little iPhone 10, watching YouTube videos, mostly terror ratings, right? But I was just missing out. I mean, like, these were days where I'm just inside, not doing anything, just waiting for this communication to come in still. But not only that, I was getting more anxiety because it felt as though everything again is so to the T, where it made me worry that, maybe this is coming in. And then you hear readers, talk about other things that are going on, toxic things, right? So as you're sucked into this, um, the reading and everything, you start seeing that the other stuff may resonate with you too. So now you're making up stories. And I'm telling you this for a reason, because I do see a lot of people that have been in my shoes, and I want to share this story because it's like it could help someone not be stuck. Because the point is, if you're stuck, nothing's going to happen for you. All these Ace of Pentacles we're getting, all these Ace of Wands, these new beginnings, nothing is going to happen, okay? I know this may piss off some people because you don't want to hear it, but sometimes I'm just telling you because I'm living through it. You fail, you do create things and you do fail. You live and you learn, right? So it's weird for me to talk publicly about this, but I feel like in order to help people, maybe telling a little bit of my story can help you. That's kind of where I'm going with that. So anyway, back to it. So in regards to the tarot reading, I just kept looking at tarot readings. I stopped at one point. I kind of just stopped looking at everything else. Like, forget the news, forget what's going on in the world. Everything just kind of came to a standstill because I kept going in wanting the answer. If a reader wasn't giving me the answer, if the reader was giving me an answer like, work on yourself or do this or do that, most of the time I would click off from that and move on to a reader that will give me what I'm looking for, which is probably the biggest failure that I did there too, because again, you're wasting all this time and energy looking for the answer that is not there. You know what I mean? So over time, I started realizing that I needed to, move forward here, new connections too. So, and I did that. I kind of moved into meeting new people. A lot of my coworkers were a big help. And we became very close as well. It was really nice to kind of appreciate what was around me, because I didn't really have anybody. And for a coworker, someone that is not even, so much as a friend and a family member yet, we just kind of met, and she kind of goes out and buys me a cake for my birthday. So it's like you have to look at those little things and the people around you. I started realizing that there's so many good people out here. I've just started meeting people at the gym. I started, conversating with the guys there, and then, just building a new network, a new group of friends here that understood. And in my journey, I met people in the same way. I mean, they were doing their own thing. Some of them were living in their car. Some of them were, waking up 3 o'clock in the morning, going to the gym just to go exercise, shower, and then go to work. There was a lot of people doing a lot of stuff where I was learning quite a bit from them, right? So, you know, and then, really turned the page here for me was when I just needed to focus on myself. There was a day here where I just kind of woke up and said, it's gonna happen. I have to have faith. Whatever I'm going through, this journey, whatever path that I'm moving forward on, is protected. It's guided by the universe here. For me, I believe in God, so I believe that God is supporting me through what I'm doing. And I've had encounters with work. Like again, I've been every time I get into something, I always end up being a manager, which is kind of like at some point you kind of don't want to be a manager anymore. But it's one of those things where every time I got into another position or job, it just goes back to being a reader. So because I was reading for people face to face, and then even recently, being with the Magician Tarot channel, I've had this other job where it's also operations manager, and again, pay wise was great. I mean, very nice. Way upwards, right? But it wasn't something that fulfilled me. I wasn't happy. It was something that I woke up, went to work. My weekends was like recharging because there's so much shit I needed to do to get ready for Monday again. It was just kind of like one of those things where I saw myself backing away from something that I love to do. So it felt as though it was just another wake up call to say, you need to start, getting back on your readings. And I've always been a person since, years ago. I talk like I'm a really old person, right? So it doesn't matter. Age is nothing, right? So, but anyway, it came to a point where I always knew that I wanted to help people, but I didn't know how. You know what I mean? You always get asked that question, or if someone asks you that question, maybe one time in your life, and you respond with, you want to help people, but how are you going to help people, right? And tarot, I found, is a way that I could help people. And eventually, I do want to start getting more into motivational speaking, public speaking, things like that, to where I could help and share my journey with others, because I feel like I can relate with that. And you'll notice in my videos, like I don't talk about stuff that, like I've been in an 8-year relationship, so I'll talk about relationships. But if I go extend into marriage, I'm not married, so I don't know anything about marriage. You know what I mean? So if it's kids, I don't have kids, so I'm not going to talk about kids. So you'll see on this channel that I only focus on things that I actually know, have been through, and experienced. Okay, so that's one of the things that I'll share on this channel. But I'm hoping that you pick that up and apply that in your life, so you can make the moves necessary to move forward. I don't know if I'm just going all over the place now or what here. It's not like I wrote anything down. I'm just kind of just hit the record button and started talking here. But anyway, where am I going with this? Tarot readings. So, when I do readings too, a lot of the energy when I started getting into it was a lot about exes and people coming from the past. And when I do a reading, some people are surprised with this, but when that message comes out on that table in that video, I don't remember that video. Sometimes I will listen back on that video, and sometimes like I'll inspire myself because I don't even remember what I said, because everything comes out in that video. I don't retain it, because if I retain all this information, I'm going to have too much shit going on in my head. So I need to be able to clear that energy, because it's not my energy. And then, kind of move on from that. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that, these in the past, these videos had a lot of past connections coming back, and it could be, like my next videos could have exes come back, right? Or that energy. But I want you to understand, when you do hear that, this is the point of this message too, is when you do hear that, we do get a lot of people that don't like that. They don't even want it, you want to hear the message coming out that your ex is coming back. You always hear people saying stuff, and to other readers too, which is unfortunate, because I have high respect for every single reader. It doesn't matter 0 subscribers to 1 million subscribers. Everybody's going to vibe with each group, you know what I mean, differently. Each person is going to be different, right? So they're going to have their own message that they're supposed to send out. And that's going to resonate, and it's going to go to someone that is supposed to hear that message. So it's not about the reader, okay? I want you to understand that. It's not about the reader. It's the energy that is coming through, and then we just talk about it. So, it's if you do hear of messages of the ex and you don't want to hear about that, it's one of those things where you don't want to click away from videos, because a lot of people just snap away and then move on to something else, because they feel like the whole reading is about the ex, person that's coming back. But you're missing out on a lot of other information that's in this video, right? So the point is to, if you're not in that situation where you don't care for someone to come back, the energy is still there. These are general readings, so again, we always say take what resonates, but it's like the energy, if you have an ex person that is unfinished business and you know intuitively that this person is going to come back one day, you just accepted that this going to happen. Now, if you're sitting there waiting, that you're hoping that this person comes in as the knight shining armor, going to sweep you off your feet, and you're going to run away in the distance with the sunset, and it's been months for you to wait for this, there's a little bit of, needing to wake up. You know what I mean? And I mean that in the nicest way possible, because when I was told that, I was just like, no, I'm not going to listen to you. You know what I mean? And it's just, you become very stubborn because this is your person. This is the one, right? But eventually you're going to start seeing the fact that you do have to move on. It's going to be about you. You are the only one that can make the change. How many times do we have to say this in the video? You are the only one in this life that can make the changes necessary for your happiness. Nobody's going to come in and give you happiness. You have to create your own happiness. Everything else is a bonus, because we came in this way alone, and we're going to leave this way alone. We came in with zero cash flow, and we're going to leave with zero cash flow. Now, money is a different topic. We all unfortunately need it to survive. But if you think too much of money, that becomes a negative thing too. That's a totally different conversation, but I'm not going to get into that in this video. So anyway, this was the introduction of why, I got into tarot and why I believe in it as well, is because things that readers have said have actually happened. I've done readings for myself. It's kind of tough to do because you're kind of biased. You can see the energies and everything, but I have a group of people that will do the readings for me, and that's my network. That's my soul tribe. They kind of, we take care of each other. They need help, I'll be there. They if I need help, they're always there for me. So it's good to create people there that you could bounce off ideas and be very open to, so you can move forward into whatever challenges that you come across. Because yeah, you do a reading, it's really straight to the point. You're going to have an opportunity, you're going to have this coming up, you're going to do this, right? Things are going to be great. You got the 10 of Pentacles coming out, wow, right? But through this journey, you're going to have a lot of shit coming down that pipeline, and you need to be able to wear some boots, because it's going to get deep. It's one of those things where you're just going to have to roll with it. You have to go with the flow, because you're going to have ups and downs. You're going to have things at work that are going to come up. You're going to have family members that are going to have issues. You're going to have issues. Health comes up, right? So there's going to be a lot of factors in this journey that you need to look at, and figure it out. And that's why one of my latest Leo videos, there was an energy about your foundation. It was like, you have to establish your foundation, and make sure it's set, because when you build on this foundation, it's something that you can build this empire on. If you have a very shaky foundation, you really didn't work on yourself, you didn't really do the full healing, you still have this open, you're closed off to new connections, new people, or meeting new people and stuff like that. What happens is you have this foundation that anyone can come in and just crumble. You know what I mean? You can get with somebody and all of a sudden you start from ground zero again. So it's really important to establish a foundation that you can build upon, so no one can really mess with it, right? So you have to be confident. You have to grow yourself as an individual before you can actually move into other things and do other things. So it's about getting out of the mindset. I don't have this issue. I mean, I recently closed the comments and everything for the past few months, but when I did have the comments open, I never really had an issue with any of the subscribers talking down or anything like that. I do see this in other social media networks, and including YouTube, and comments and stuff about negativity. It's like, I've been waiting for this, but it's not coming. Every time you guys talk about it's coming, but it's not coming. That right there is a perfect attitude of why it's not coming, because you're sitting there waiting for it. And if you sit there and wait for anything, it's not going to happen. We all sit here waiting to win the lottery. You know what I mean? So you can't really win the lottery if you don't even try playing at the same time, right? So that's the other thing to consider. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of put a video out there. Number one, it was just kind of like letting you know I was also in your shoes. And, it's one of those things where I understand where you're coming from. I understand the feelings you're going through. I've been through the dark night of the soul. It didn't take a month or two to get rid of. It took years to get it past you, right? Um, Not saying I was in deep depression for a few years. The first few months it's tough, and then it gets better, and things start opening up in time, and through this journey you start opening up to meeting new people. You start caring for other people, they care for you. It's like there's an exchange in healing with other people as well, so be open to meeting new people, and trying new things, and just kind of it's really about the experience, enjoying the moment, and enjoying the people around you. And yeah, you're gonna, there's people you're gonna meet that you thought things were gonna work out. Even after this whole past situation, you meet new people, and you think that's gonna work, and then all of a sudden that doesn't work, and that's another, obstacle you have to overcome. But because you're working on yourself, these future obstacles, which is not going to stop, this is something that we have to deal with throughout our lives, is when we do become to the point where something happens, we've worked on yourself so much that we can still move on. We're able to get up faster. You know what I mean? Like, we fall down, but before that first time we fell down, we didn't know what the heck hit us, right? And we're trying to find our way back up. And as time goes in, you understand who you are, your value, what you're worth, what you could really bring to the world here, and start letting it, being true to yourself. That's the main thing. And loving yourself is what's going to move you through whatever comes through, you know what I mean? And again, life isn't all about just relationships and stuff. It's a big part of our lives, but we have other things that we need to work on, just your finances, and just other things, just learning. We're in a world where you want to keep learning and trying new things and everything. You don't want the same old stuff. Otherwise, we always get that tower card, which really throws that curveball on us, right? So anyway, um, so to summarize, tarot readings, try to all the general readings here. Try to take it with a grain of salt. Don't it's really meaning don't make up a story that is not yours. If you're really curious, and you really having a hard time trying to overcome something, this is where personal readings become handy. And I've had a reader that I used for a couple of months here just to get personal readings from that one reader. And she was able to kind of guide me in the right directions. And what she said came true. Most of it did, and what didn't come true could come true in the future. Because if most of the stuff came true, what was it to say that the other stuff won't come true? You know what I mean? So you have to have faith. It goes back on that. Um, but if you really are going through it, that's where personal readings come in handy. Focus on that. I mean, personal readings, depending on which reader you go towards, they cost money. And so you want to be able to get your value by, asking the right questions. If you're coming in and you're asking about, is this person coming back? I mean, is it really going to be valuable if they don't come back in the next 6 months, but, the reading says they're coming back? You know what I mean? So you have to, if you want to find out that information, great, but you also want to look into what's going on with you. What can you do to where we can kind of unblock these obstacles to where you can move forward here? Because I feel like a lot of you guys collectively, just when I've been doing so many readings for you guys, collectively, you have so much potential to create so much change in your life. And it's like one of those things where it's kind of tough to see the energies be stuck for so long. You know what I mean? It's like it's always this energy of past connections when we see this huge opportunity for the future, and that you can create something amazing for yourself. And it's going to be different for everyone. When I say amazing, I'm not talking about you're going to have a mansion. Some of you guys might go buy a big house, and that's what you want, and that's fine. For some of us, we just like to travel the world, or travel the areas here, live on the road in a van, and that's our life too. That's our 10 of cups, right? So it's your definition of the 10 of cups is what I'm going at. And that's what you have the potential to go that route, to where you don't have to live in a world of well, not live in the world. We always have issues in this world now, but we don't have to live in a situation where you're still holding your energy on something that is not worth it. If they if at the end of the day, if that person really cared, and they, if they show in their energy, like, okay, they do care about you, they think of you and this and that, but if they really, really, really like wanted to be with you, they would communicate with you regardless. Okay, doesn't even matter who this person is, they will communicate with you, because I know that for a fact, if you were in those shoes and you felt those feelings, you would definitely communicate anyway, right? So this these energies that are kind of having these, these thoughts, this is energy coming towards you. So it's like when you get the Knight of Cups coming towards you, or you get this communication coming towards you, not to say they don't care, there's emotions there, but is it enough for them to communicate? You know what I mean? I'm hoping that that comes through, because again, you're going to get readings that are going to see, or it's going to be said that this person's going to come through with an offer or something like that. It just comes up in the energy. But don't get stuck on it, because if I stayed stuck on something like that, it would be, I wouldn't have been able to manifest. And this is why this channel is called the Magician Tarot, because it's about manifesting. I came from having stuff, everything, everything was fine, to losing it, to creating it again. And it's like, I can stand here and honestly say that I'm doing it. It's not like I'm saying it and I'm not doing it myself. And just like this morning, I went out, and you guys might see this picture on my community section. Took a picture this morning. I went for some working out. I need to get back into it and stuff. So um, it's one of those things that I've been thinking lately. It's like there's so much stuff that I want to accomplish in the future, but what good is it, to accomplish stuff if I'm not healthy? If I'm not having the endurance to complete all these videos, and then the other stuff I need to take care of, and the personal readings, and all this stuff that's going on in my life, I need to have the energy to do it. So what's the point of being unhealthy and just sitting here and doing readings when I'm not going outside, enjoying working out, lifting weights? Those are things that I have to do separately, so I can get my mind on different things and clear my energy, and I need to ground as well. But because of doing that, I am I'm having that energy so I can manifest what I want, meaning that when I want to buy a house in the future again, that wasn't a walk in the park. This is not a first time for me. I've done it before. I could do it again. If I want to move to a different city, location, country, whatever it is, I'm going to manifest that. So I'm kind of at a point where I can go get what I want, and I'm moving towards getting what I want, but it takes time. So I'm living through this as well. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping you guys understand that. So anyway, I just wanted to get on here, kind of just more of an introduction of who I am, and again, just sharing my experiences, so you guys know that I'm with you here. I get it. I get the feelings, and sometimes the Sagittarius in me will be very blunt. Sagittarius sun here, so there's gonna be some bluntness. I think what balances me out is my Virgo rising, Aquarius moon, so I can kind of be in my head as well. But it's just one of those things where we can all, I'm in living proof that we can make this happen. You know what I mean? We can move away from stuff that are not good, and you can create something very, really nice. And I'm just even recently just feeling really good that what I have around me, the support, um, just the ability to go for a walk, in a beautiful area, in the Bay Area, California. I mean, it's most expensive place to be, and that's just lucky. That's just that's just me being blessed, and that's kind of like, I take it that way, having that gratitude, in the path that I'm in, and just enjoying what I have. Just able to, I've been through something where having a hot shower at one point was something that I just looked up and said thank you. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where you start realizing even having a hot cup of coffee, which is right in front of me right now, is something that you have to enjoy. Those are the type of little things you want to enjoy. All right. So I'm not going to beat this to the ground. It's already at 30 minutes. So if you guys are still listening to this, really appreciate you guys again. And if you guys have questions, my comments are off. There's too much spam stuff going on. I don't have time to really go through and clean up all that. So um, if you feel like you want to talk to me, comment on the community, or message me there, or you have my email. If there's a concern or something like that, feel free to email me. Any feedback, or you guys, want to see something else in the readings, whatever it is, feel free to communicate with me on that. I want to have this communication with my subscribers to where we're working together in some way. All right. So anyway, whoever did listen to this all the way to the 30-minute mark, appreciate that. And I'll come out with the videos. Let's see, what is it? Sunday today. I'm probably going to start working on the end of month, more like into September now. Let's just do that, and then we'll take it from there and see what the energy is looking like. So yeah, try to get out there, ground yourself, clear your energy, do something that you enjoy doing, and it's good to take a break. Take a break and just clear your mind a little bit. All right. So until next time, we'll see you. You guys have a good one.